जय श्री माता जी। हम सभी श्री माता जी के चरणों में नतमस्तक होकर प्रणाम करेंगे, फिर बंधन लेंगे। महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र। हम श्री माता जी से प्रार्थना करेंगे। श्री माता जी, आप कृपया हमें संतुलन प्रदान कीजिए। आप कृपया हमारे चित्त को पूर्णतया प्रकाशित कीजिए। आप कृपया हमारे चित्त में आइए। अब अपना बायां हाथ श्री माता जी की तरफ रखते हुए दायां हाथ हम पृथ्वी पर रखेंगे। श्री माता जी, हमारी ईड़ा नाड़ी के समस्त दोष, समस्त अशुद्ध इच्छाएं, समस्त रोग पृथ्वी में विलीन कर दीजिए। हमें केवल उत्थान की शुद्ध इच्छा प्रदान कीजिए। अब अपना दायां हाथ हम श्री माता जी की ओर रखेंगे और बायां हाथ आकाश की ओर। श्री माता जी, हमारी पिंगला नाड़ी के समस्त दोष, हमारे कार्य में आने वाली सभी बाधाएं, हमारे चित्त के सभी दोष आकाश तत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। अब दोनों हाथ श्री माता जी की ओर रखेंगे। हमारा चित्त सहस्त्रार पर श्री माता जी, हम आपके श्री चरणों में पूर्णतया समर्पण करते हैं। श्री माता जी, वी फुल्ली सरेंडर टू यू। आप कृपया हमें निर्विचार स्थिति में रखिए। श्री माता जी, प्लीज कीप अस इन थॉटलेस अवेयरनेस ऑलवेज। अब हम श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी आत्मसात करेंगे।
Today in the city of Vancouver, we have gathered here to pray for the country of Canada and also for the Canadian people. Also, we have to know that there are lots of negative forces working, and there has to be some puja to be done to the Mahakali force. And so I thought today let's have the puja for Mahakali. So Mahakali puja is the same as you do the Devi's puja. But first the Mahakali force came on this earth. Adi Shakti came as Mahakali and created Shri Ganesha. Then she ascended as Mahasaraswati. And with that force she created the whole universe. In that she created this world in a very beautiful manner with great arrangements and organizing. And on that were born human beings because the temperature and all that was made very congenial for human beings. So this climate has also played a big part on the temperament of the people, on the seeking of the people. Like in India, we can say the climate is very congenial for meditation. It has been a traditional country from ancient times, But from the very beginning, we have had seers who were seeking the truth in the jungles. The reason is this, that in India its climate is so good that you can live in a jungle, no problem. So it was easy for them to get rid of all the superficialities of life and to take seriously, go to the jungles, dedicate themselves for finding out the truth. And thus they found out the truth, that it is the Kundalini, which is the force within us, which gives us realization. But this group then scattered in different places, and they formed schools, were called, or universities, called as Gotras. And in these schools were sent children from the age of 5 years, till the 5 years they lived with their parents, and then these children were sent there. And they were given all the education about day-to-day life. Their education system was very different. By their education, they made the children very aware about everything. Concentration and a complete celibacy, because all the people in a Gotra could not marry. Even today, supposing I belong to one Gotra, I cannot marry a person in the same Gotra. So it is so much maintained even today. Like in the university, you cannot marry each other. So the children were kept like brothers and sisters, and they felt it all the time, brothers and sisters feeling. In the same way, see, it has worked out in many ways that the Muladhara Chakra was established very strongly in India. And that's why, though we had many other countries like China, we had old China was there, and also Egypt, then we had Greece, and also Rome. All these countries did not pay much attention to their Muladhara Chakra. And this Muladhara was created by the Mahakali. Mahakali created Shri Ganesha to emit holiness, auspiciousness, wisdom, divine wisdom. And her establishment of Shri Ganesha is also within us on the Muladhara Chakra. But if we do not pay attention to our Muladhara Chakra, then our powers become very big and we start catching from negativity much more. Those who have good Muladharas do not catch so fast. But we catch, we are harmed more by people who are negative, because they know that we have bad Muladharas and they can affect us. Now all the gurus and all those false gurus came to Western countries because they knew they can affect much more here than in India. Like Rajneesh, nobody would accept such a man. Freud, nobody would accept such a person. But here already Freud had done the necessary harm to people, and they were prepared to become vulnerable to these people. And on that background, these people came here and started acting, and they have been very successful. All of them have been found out to be very loose charactered, and they have been exposed, and it's nice that whatever is negative, whatever is false gets exposed. But still one has to remember that if we have a strong Muladhara, then Mahakali power is the strongest within us. Because as I told you, first she created Shri Ganesha. So all her power are actually expressed in Omkara, which is Shri Ganesha. And this Shri Ganesh power within us represents the complete love of Mahakali and all her powers of destroying the evil forces. They go hand in hand, we should say, like every light has its glory around it, or glow around it. In the same way, the light of Mahakali has the glow as Chaitanya, which is actually nothing but Omkara and Shri Ganesha. Now Shri Ganesha has aspects, as I have told them, that if you see the carbon from the left, you see on the right side Omkar, Om written like that. If you see from right to the left, you see it as swastika. If you see from down below upward, then you see it as a cross. And now they have verified it, have experimented, and the scientists have found out and have now declared that it is. So that aspect of Omkara, which is within us, is the right side. But the left side is the swastika. And the swastika is a very, very sensitive instrument that if you use it on the right side, then of course it is all right. It works for construction, but if you use it for left side, I mean in the anti-clock manner, then it is destructive. So swastika, when it is moving in its right direction, clockwise in front and anti-clockwise at the back, if it is moving in the right direction, all negativity is thrown out on the periphery and absolutely they cannot enter in. But if it is moved on the left-hand side, then anybody can enter in. So it is, if you move a swastika, see now, create a kind of a opening. If you make a swastika and see, it opens. But if you move it this way, there's no opening. It goes on closing one on another. So by moving it left side, it starts opening itself to these negative forces. This is exactly what has happened in the West, that they had their Muladhara moving on the left-hand side, the anti-clockwise. They went against their own principle of morality, absolutely against Christ, and managed to get all these books into themselves. Now, Sahaja Yoga has one problem in the West, that people don't want to hear that you should be moral. They find it very difficult. If you tell them you have to be moral, they think we are fundamentalist or something like that. But it's a fundamental thing that we have to be moral people. Now they are seeing the results of it, that they have got AIDS, they have got all these diseases, all these troubles. From that they are learning that our Muladhara should be all right, otherwise all these problems can come. But still they don't want to accept it, that they have done mistakes. So this is another ego problem, that they think, oh, they are very much glorified and they should be glorified, they did something new. I mean, if you go and cut your nose, you don't glorify such people. But something like that has happened, and this kind of a nonsense is still stabilized, and people don't think much against it. But the sufferings are so much that whatever you may try, the sufferings are there. And they have to accept that they have gone wrong and they have done such a wrong thing. And that's what they deserve. But whatever it is, despite all their, you can say, the foolhardiness or tomfoolery, whatever you may call it, they are to be saved. And something has to be done for them. Because, after all, they are all seekers and they deserve to be saved. But with ego, they don't understand their own benevolence. To them, benevolence is that their ego should be satisfied. So, Sahaja Yoga is not like this, that you just put some spirit into somebody and the person feels absolutely elated for a time being and then is finished. But it is something that has to grow. It's a living process. It grows within us. It takes time. And sometimes people get frustrated with it. But we should not. We should know we are the foundations, and this is the most important work we are doing in the history of spirituality. So far, such work has not been done before. So, this is such a big thing that we are doing, and we should be very satisfied with ourselves and should be confident, because this requires people of quality. Not necessarily you should be well educated, you should be highly placed. Though to impress people this might help, but still, if you are deep people, you can work out in no time. If the soil is not good, then the tree has to go deep down. In the same way, when the atmosphere is not good, we have to go deep down. But one should never feel frustrated. One should never feel upset. Because even if you are one person, you are a saint. And a saint brings all the love, all the auspiciousness to that country. So there's nothing to feel in any way desperate or unhappy about. But try to develop your depth by meditation and by collective sitting down and talking to each other. I'm sure this will work out. And this force of Mahakali will manifest. After this puja, I'm sure something tremendous should happen. As it is, you know, that all these false gurus have been exposed and are put on the shelves now, most of them. Some of them have died, some of them exposed, some has happened. Gradually, they will all disappear. We don't have to worry about them. We have to worry about ourselves, that negativity should not fall into us. And the negativity that falls into such yogis is the frustration. That they feel we are very few, others have so many, why should we so few? I mean, it's all right. That has to be that way, it doesn't matter. And to have more people is not so important as we should have quality people. We should have very good quality people who are deep, who understand Sahaja Yoga, who know it very well. Because even if you have too many and they don't know anything about Sahaja Yoga, they are useless. So not only that you should have this love of God's divine nature, but also knowledge about Sahaja Yoga. Both things are the same. Actually, if you love someone, you know about that person everything. When such a thing will happen all over the world, that so many countries will accept Sahaja Yoga, and so many will start talking openly about it on a very high level, then even the countries which have not been able to achieve much results, or we can say cities, will suddenly jump up. I have great hopes from Toronto. Toronto will come up very well, I think, and I'm sure tonight also we'll have lots of people who will be sticking on. Because no use having 1,000 people and ultimately 2 turn up. That sort of thing is a common experience. So this would be a better idea. And today's prayer should be in our hearts that let us get very powerful Ganesha Shakti. Let us get that. And second should be that this Shakti should destroy all that is negativity. Even not to be collective itself is a negativity. All these collectivity problems or all these negativity problems must be destroyed by this Mahakali power, which will manifest through us. May God bless you. In the West, we have grown very big outside, like a tree has grown very big. But it must find its roots, otherwise the whole tree can fall off without nutrition. So you must know the knowledge of the roots. Without the knowledge of the roots, the tree has no meaning. So this may be a little new thing for you to understand, but you must know, to know the knowledge of the roots, you have to become subtle. If you are not subtle personality, you cannot enter into your roots and you cannot understand what lies in there. So first of all, I said yesterday, you all should get your realization, and after your realization, you can understand this better than anything else. Christ came on this earth, but he was only allowed to preach and talk about 3.5 years of his lifetime. And in 3.5 years is enough. In that, whatever was possible, he said positively, he told about the future, all that was to happen. He didn't talk much about the Holy Ghost. The reason was his mother was the Holy Ghost at that time. And he didn't want to talk about her because the attention of the people would be on her and they would have killed her. And then he has got 11 destroying powers. And he would have used those 11 destroying power, and everything would have been finished. The whole drama would have been finished. So he did not mention much about the Holy Ghost and did not explain. But logically we must understand that we talk of the Father and of the Son, but not of the Mother.
how can you have a father and a son and no mother? That's an impossibility. So Holy Ghost is the primordial mother. In the Sanskrit language, if you go, because in the Bible you cannot find everything about Christ. It's very little written. But you have to go back about 14,000 years back, that in India people had prophesied about him, how he will be coming. And about the primordial mother who was called as Adi Shakti, who is the Holy Ghost. All description was given, and when her advent will come, what will happen and how to recognize her. All this is described very well so many years back. Even about Christ, quite a lot is described, and also we are going to read it out to you, a translation of what is written about Christ. And then there is a complete description about his origin, how he came on this earth, and what was the purpose of his life. Ask the gentleman to come this side. Can you? This gentleman, come this side. To sit comfortably. And what was the purpose of his life, and how is he has to establish in this center here, and that by establishing there, he can suck the ego and superego in you, and how he takes you away, or he washes off your karmas and your conditioning. All that is being described very well in the Devi Mahatmya book, out of which we are just going to read a little bit to you about the adoration. So Bible cannot contain Christ, because Christ is Chaitanya, he is Omkara, he is the Logos as you call it. He is the power, and you cannot describe him in one little book when he was here only for 3.5 years. And the people who saw him also were his disciples. They did not know much about him. Till he was resurrected, they did not believe him also. And even after his death, in resurrection, Matthews and all these people were quite disturbed and upset, because they were all persecuted, and they somehow or other wanted to continue the message of Christ in a very secretive manner. So today the time has come for you to know about him, about what he was in the heaven and how he came on this earth. All that we don't have time today, but we'll be just telling you about a little passage that is written about him. So first, he is the one who is innocent, who is an eternal child. And he appears first on the first chakra of Muladhara, and there he is called as Shri Ganesh, where the carbon atom was made, carbon. And that is very important to understand, that Ganesha is the symbol of innocence, and Mother Earth is the power of that deity, Ganesha. So it was Ganesha later on incarnated on this earth as Christ, and he will be incarnated again as 11 Rudras, means Ekadashas, or we can call him as Nishkalanka, his name will be, when he will just sort out things, in the sense that he will just cut the people out who are not realized, who are no good, and the rest of them will ascend in the kingdom of heaven. This is what is the last ascent. Now for this, please sit down, please. Please be seated. Give him a chair or something. You have to sit down comfortably. You see, it is a thing that happen something within you. So you have to be very much restful. That's very important. Give him a chair if he cannot sit on the ground. Well, he cannot sit on the ground. Give him a chair, but be comfortable. Otherwise, it won't work out. You see, it is not something that will go into a mind. It's something that will go into a being. So you have to be very receptive. Another thing I'll tell you, yesterday also I saw, and today also, you should not move your neck by eating something or chewing something, because this Vishuddhi chakra gets upset at that time. So keep still. Unless and until you are still, it cannot work out. So please keep still. So this is the nourishment of the roots, of which we are going to work out, which you will feel it very nicely within yourself. So first is that we read the Ganesha's translation about Ganesh. But just before starting, let us say Lord's Prayer. Once we say
We'll say the Lord's Prayer together.
Put your hands like this, and now say the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
श्री माता जी के चरणों में नतमस्तक होकर प्रणाम करेंगे। आज के ध्यान के लिए हमारा आभार व्यक्त करेंगे और फिर बंधन लेंगे। उसके पश्चात एक अनाउंसमेंट है। जय श्री माता जी। निर्मल नगरी गणपतिपुले में हवन का आयोजन किया जा रहा है। इसकी तारीख है नवंबर 5 शाम को 5 बजे। नवंबर 5 शाम को 5 बजे। जिन योगी जन को वहां पर जाना है वो कृपया अपनी बस और ट्रेन वगैरह की व्यवस्था कर लें। अक्टूबर 22 को नवरात्रि पूजन का आयोजन है। इसका वेन्यू और इसका समय हम आपको कुछ ही दिनों में बता देंगे। जय श्री माता जी।